Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first episode of The Bachelor Show, where today we'll welcome our guest, Julian Martínez, the Financial Director of Merchandise at Carrefour, France. And yeah, so thank you very much for being here with us today. So let's just begin with the interview, and could you please briefly introduce yourself? So just give us your name, where you're from, and just a bit of a general overview.
I'm Julian Martínez. I am Spanish. I am 55 years old, have 30 years of experience. I studied in Spain, in Universidad of Murcia in Spain, when I am originary. And I work in Spain first in an audit firm at the beginning of my career, 1 year as an auditor. And after that, I joined Carrefour Group. I started working in Carrefour Group in Spain, where I worked for 5 years in Spain. And after I left Spain to start my international career, I went to Mexico. After I went to Brazil, I spent 6 years in Latin America in this period. After I came back to Italy, where I spent 6 years. And after that, I have worked in France, in Italy, in Greece during the last year.
So thank you very much for that introduction. We can see that it's a lot of experience and a lot of years in different countries as well. We would like to do a little bit of a mini game, okay, which is some icebreaker questions, and we're going to ask you every single one, and they're very short. You just give one short answer, and everything is perfect. So let's begin. Favorite season of the year? Summer. Spring. What actor would you cast in a movie about your life?
Tom Hanks.
What 3 things would you bring to a secluded island?
A book, running shoes. Maybe.
Oh, those 2 things?
Those 2
Perfect. Who's your favorite superhero?
Superman.
Who's your favorite painter?
Picasso.
Which famous person, dead or alive, would you most like to have dinner with?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Okay. What country would you still like to visit? Great.
India.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
A horse.
A horse. What's your favorite movie?
Wall Street, the first one.
The first Wall Street.
1985.
We will make sure everybody take note. Wall Street, first movie, not the second version.
Not the second version.
Yeah. If you would teach a subject in school, what subject would you teach?
Maybe something related to how to calculate the value of our enterprise value, how to calculate how much can we pay for a company. I think this. Okay. So I would like a lot to explain.
Finance, really, finance.
Yes, corporate finance.
Corporate finance. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Become CFO of an organization with 15,000 people. It has been in a country, in a company. It has been a big accomplishment for me.
And to finish off, what is your favorite book?
100 años de soledad.
100 años de soledad. So thank you very much for that. Let's move back to
thank you to you.
Could you give us a bit more detail about your education? Because you mentioned you mentioned a lot about your career, but you didn't really mention your education.
Yes. My education, I as I said before, I did a bachelor in economics and business administration in Murcia, Spain. At this time, and it was 5 years of study. It was bac plus 5, as they say here in France. It's 5 years of studies. After that, I started to work. I needed to work, and I started to work, and I worked for 10 years. And after that, I had the opportunity to be here and to make a master in SSP in Paris. It was very nice. At this time, I was working in Italy, and I came here for a period to do a master organized by the company. It was very nice because it was very, very related to the practical job in a company. And that was very, very nice for me. And after I had the opportunity to go to IMD in Lausanne, in Switzerland, and I ran 1 year master in strategic leadership. That was very, very interesting for me as well.
Since you mentioned ESCP, and given that this is the Bachelor Show of ESCP, would you give us a bit more detail about that experience, since you already...
What I discovered is a very nice way to educate people for the future. In my first university, it was much more technical, theoretical, and much more on content. And this I discovered here a very, very practical way of of working. Much more in the way that masters are done. It means it is a case study, it's work to be done, analysis to be done, and after the work to be done in groups of persons in order to deliver and to be able to obtain real conclusion. But it was very, very nice, the practical side. I found this university, this school, much more linked to the professional life than my previous experience in university, and that was very nice for me.
That's very nice to hear, indeed. What was your dream when starting your business, your first business studies? So did you have like any aspirations, and perhaps how has that evolved over time?
Yeah. Okay, I think my dream was eating the world. I wanted to learn a lot, to prepare for the future, to obtain a degree, university degree, start to work in a company, learn languages, be able to have an international career. And my dream was entering a company, and I did it, and I never left this company. I can say entering a company when you can say that when you work a lot, the limit that you have on your progression, your career, you stay yourself. You put yourself the limit you want to accomplish. If I wanted to work in a company like that and to have an international career, it was my dream, and I think I made it real.
That's very nice. That's very good to hear. And so, what led to your focus on finance specifically? Since you've said that you worked in an auditing company, and then you've been CFO, and then currently you're also working in the financial side of the company. So, what led to this? Why did you choose this?
You are able to take the decision of the company according to indicators, according to clear and evidence KPI. And I like a lot that. I am a very rational person. I like I think I am good on that, on deciding in one company. For instance, we have limited money. We need to invest in something, and we have different projects. And we need to be sure that we put the money, we allocate the money on the best project that will be the most profitable for the company. And to be able to make this analysis, put everybody on that, eliminate I can say intuitive or subjective way of deciding, and put a very rational way of designing according to KPIs.
Okay, remember guys, KPIs, we're learning this in accounting class, so please listen to Mr. Martinez. It's very common for people to choose the finance way and not just the general management way. What advice would you give to students that are willing and wanting to pursue this a bit more like your career of going into finance, auditing, and just anything in that domain?
Yes, I think you need to create the foundation in the university. It means you need to study and to learn and to be very good technically in the grades you obtain in your assignment in different subjects is very, very important. I think in the university you need to be very good. You need to demonstrate that you are good, that you are able to learn and to develop and to handle completely one subject. And it's studying. I think in the university you need to study. Auditing is a very good school because if you do 1-2 years of auditing at the beginning of your career, it's very interesting because you learn how to rate the health of a company within the financial statement, and it is very important because that even when you are a general manager, it's very, very important. The general manager that has had in the past audited experience because they are coming from finance world, they are very, very good. You have the opportunity to work in a consultancy company, a strategical consultancy company. It gives to you a very, very good vision of a company. Business controlling is very good. A business controller is a financial guy who loves business, and is very good at that. And to spend your first, I can say 5-10 years of your career and do 2, 3, 4 different subjects in your career that will give to you this vision, like to organize and to work in a project management and way of thinking is very important as well. It's a good skill to develop.
Well, given that you talked about having good grades in university and then choosing the correct master, and then finally having the right experience in the different domains of finance, of auditing, consulting as well, and all of that, to what do you owe your personal success?
The working experience.
The working experience. So for example, for us students right now, would you say that perhaps internships at this moment are key for us for the future?
Yeah. I think it's important. As I said, in this grades are important. In the first year, it's very important to create this foundation. After you develop in the working life. But for me, in my case, I think I have made very big progresses thanks to my work.
What would you say are the three main things that you have learned across throughout this long period? What are the
I think the most important thing is that victories you win on the fields. Mm-hmm. It's a human factor that is very important. You need to explain. You need to give this feeling to everybody of the need to change, and you need to convince everybody that it's necessary to change. And you do that when you are good to communicate, when you are good on the field, when you are good to explain to the workers, to the middle management, to the workers at the end, and to make send the good messages, the good strategy of the company to everybody in the company. And at the end, on the field, that you obtain the success or the failure.
So, at the beginning, you told us that you did a bachelor in economics and business. So you were more or less a bit more diversified. But given that here we're doing a bachelor management, not just our B1, our cohort B1s, also B3s and B1, B2s and 3s, obviously, the second and third year students. How valuable would you say is the bachelor in management in comparison to a more specific bachelor such as, say, finance or economics? How valuable would you rate such experience, and how?
I can explain according to my experience because I did the opposite. I did economics, and after I learned in the company about management. I learned working in a company, and now when I hire people, because I hire a lot of people, I think when I see at the end of their bachelor the experience, the idea that they have about how does it work a company is much more. I say there is a very big gap compared with what was my vision when I have 25 or 23 years old and I finished yesterday. I think it gives to you a good touching about a company that even you can complement with your internship in different companies, and at the end you have the basic. You can work in whatever you want. I think there is a big difference because there is this practical side, this entrepreneurial and business side that when you do something very, very technical from the beginning of your studies is not the same. That I recommend a lot. That and I think it's a very good path.
This will be the end of the first episode of the Bachelor Show. So thank you very much.
Thank you to you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.